My father made me start this channel. It was about 3 years ago in 2022 when I was still in pharmacy school. So I was in final year then and I had just come back home after my first semester exams. My father gives me this ring light that he just got and he tells me that he wants me or he advises me to work towards starting a YouTube channel. It's 2024, the ending of 2024, nearly 3 years later, and I'm finally starting that YouTube channel. So let me introduce myself. My name is Ugonwa Emeka. I am from Nigeria, I'm Igbo, and I am currently filming from somewhere in Nigeria. In this video, I'm going to talk about the purpose of my channel, the kind of content that you can expect from me, and also I'll be giving you the gist of why I'm finally making a video 3 years after the seed was planted in my mind. Okay, the purpose of this channel is going to be on mental health, on psychology, and on personal development. What are my credentials to discuss these topics? You are probably asking. Well, I'm not a therapist, I'm not a psychologist, but I have had many experiences in life, and on my journey, I have had to turn to mental health, psychology, and personal development in search of my answers and in search of solutions to the challenges I've faced on my journey. Also, ever since I was 9 years old or 10 years old, I've been exposed to personal development books and materials courtesy of my dad. Mental health is such a dear subject to me. I have struggled, throughout my developmental years, my teenage years, and down even to adulthood with mental health. And it has been a learning curve for me to gather the skills and the knowledge I need to take care of myself, especially in a place and time where therapy is unaccessible, mostly, especially in the place I'm in, and very expensive. So I believe that mental health is such an important part of human the human aspect because like physical health, if you're physically ill, it is going to be very difficult for you to function effectively and fully in life. Likewise, if you're mentally struggling or going through something that is affecting your mental health, it is going to be very difficult for you to show up 100% or just show up fully in your life and achieve and get the things that you want to get in life. So I'm very passionate about self-awareness, about people knowing about their mental health and knowing some of the basic skills and knowledge to help them stay afloat during turbulent times in their lives. And finally, I'll be creating content on personal development because in a world that grows exponentially, you cannot afford to not be learning and improving yourself in every aspect. So in essence, this video is just going to be, like I said before, mental health, psychology, and personal development. I aim to provide and produce content that educates, that helps and inspires, and just helps people to heal and to grow and to learn about themselves more. Why am I finally making a YouTube video 3 years after the idea was planted in my mind? Back then, when my dad suggested that I start YouTube, I was not on the same page with him at all. In fact, I was reluctant, very reluctant, for reasons that were valid to me at the time. Number one, I was camera shy, very camera shy, and the thought of having people I know or people I don't even know like watching me talk or just putting myself on display was very uncomfortable. And the second reason was that I felt like I had nothing worth saying. I felt like I had no qualifications. Like, what did I even know to I could come out and talk about? But my dad at the time, when I aired or he noticed that I was not, you know, on the whole idea, he advised me that I should, just practice talking in front of a camera by myself and improving my skills, my public speaking skills, and my communication skills, basically. So So I told him that I would, and I tried. I really tried. But after like the first, after the first few trials, I gave up because it was very difficult. I couldn't even maintain eye contact with the camera at that time, and I felt very ridiculous. So I just gave up, and I concluded that YouTube and social media were not for me, even though a huge part of myself wanted it to be, but I just concluded that, that life wasn't for me, that I was too introverted, I was too shy, and I wouldn't be able to, do something like that. So this brings to mind a quote that I came across some months ago, and that quote is so wonderful. I will say the quote now, and I will also refer to it at the end of this video. So the quote goes like this: don't be so attached to who you are in the present that you don't give the future version of yourself a chance. Don't be so attached to who you are in the present that you don't give the future version of yourself a chance. You can write that down or take note of it, but I will come back to it later. So fast forward 3 years later, I am finally making and posting a video on YouTube. I don't relate to the girl from 3 years ago who couldn't see herself making a video or posted a video on YouTube. Am I still camera shy? Yes, I am, though I have improved greatly. I mean, obviously, from then. Am I still scared of putting myself on display? Yes, I am. Do I still feel like I am not qualified to share my thoughts with the world? Yes, I do. The difference between me, the present me, and the girl or the person from 3 years ago is that the person from 3 years ago did not know that life was so freaking short. The life is so short. Okay, that has been one of the greatest lessons I've learned within the last 3 years of my existence. So in the last 3 years, I was able to graduate from pharmacy school, and I lost a sibling along the line. And now I am almost done with my internship training program as a pharmacist. So in the next few weeks or months, in the next few weeks, I'll be done with my internship training program as a pharmacist, and I will be jumping on the train for real now of adulthood. So it makes little sense right now not to start this channel. It makes little sense right now not to, just make a video and what's the worst that could happen? Because, like I said, one of the greatest lessons and the hardest lessons I have learned in the last 3 years is that life is so short. It's very, very short. And like my dad once said, life is as short as now. So basically, it's like at the end of the day, nothing really matters. And at the end of your time here on earth, when you're faced with all the things that you wanted to do and you didn't do, you're going to be filled with so much regret and all the insecurities and all the fears and anxieties that you had, you know, all the insecurities and all the fears and anxieties that you had that stops you from going after that thing you wanted or from trying that stuff you wanted will not be there. You only be filled with regret. Another thing I want to talk about is how life is a journey. Life is this journey that is often quite difficult to navigate, especially when you don't have a guiding system or a guidance system to keep you on the right track, okay, or to give you support during the hard times. The other day I had this thought that adulthood is like, for most people, it's like someone plopping you into the ocean and telling you to figure out your way to the dry land or to the promised land, whatever that promised land is for you, you know. And as you're trying to navigate to the promised land, find the best route to the promised land, you also have to find a way to stay afloat through the storms and the waves of life of the ocean, because those storms and those waves will come and they will hit you, but you have to find a way to stay afloat while still navigating to where you need to get to. It's like this constant everyday feeling of not having your shit together. Like you always feel like, what am I doing? Like I can't get anything, together. There's always fires to be put out while you still have to stay on target and stay on course. So in this way, I believe and I hope that this channel will be of help and assistance to people in whatever small way. You know, I hope that the things I talk about, the reflections, the advice, and everything that I share here will be of some help. And basically, I want to be a friend to people who need that friend at whatever stage that they are in, where they can, relate with what I'm saying. So remember, I'm not a teacher, I'm not a guru, I'm just a girl who is barely 25 years old. I'll be 25 very soon. So I'm just a girl who is trying to figure out life herself, who is trying to navigate, who is trying to, figure out this whole adulthood thing because I don't want to digress, but that's just basically it. And I'm also using this as a learning curve to also share my experiences and share my, experiences and hard lessons I learned as well along the way. And also, practice whatever I'm preaching, like practice what I'm preaching as well. So I've come to the end of this video. This is my first video on YouTube and a little introduction. I didn't really say much about myself, but I feel like that's not really necessary for now. If I was able to pull you to the end of this video, please, you can like, subscribe, or whatever, follow. Alright, that's how they say it. Don't forget to subscribe so that you can see my face and hear my voice next time. And I will come back to the quote that I started with, which I said I was going to come back to, which is, don't be so attached to who you are in the present that you don't give the future version of yourself a chance. Most of the time, the life that you are looking for, the life that you want is on the other side of this fear or this anxiety or this self-doubt that you have to face down. And most of the time, you have to take action despite whatever it is that you're feeling. If something is very scary, but consciously, it's something that you want to do, but you're like very scared to go after it, then it's just know that the life that you want is on the other side of that. And if you don't take that step, you're always going to be stuck where you are. You're never going to move forward. You're never going to know. You're never going to know what it is. Even if it doesn't work out, whatever thing that you want to do, even if it doesn't work out, I mean, you never know. You're just going to be sitting down, stuck where you are, and wondering what could or what couldn't be, right? So thank you so much again for listening to me till this present moment. I hope to create and to be of service to you in the future. Right.